Are you following the All Blacks or the Rugby Championship? Stick around, I'll share my insights on their squad that's been named by Coach Scott Robertson. Hey everyone, it's Coach H here, and you've found Inspired by Union, a channel where I discuss Southern Hemisphere rugby. Let's dive right in. With the longer format in the Rugby Championship, Scott Robertson and his fellow coaches have been afforded the opportunity to select 36 players in their squad. They've also named one player for injury cover. Scott Barrett, he's been named skipper for the squad. However, we were alerted to the fact that he is suffering an injury to his finger and he will miss likely the first 2 games of the championship, possibly more. In terms of a replacement skipper for the early tests, likely that it'd be Vice-Captain Adi Savia or Geordie Barrett. We do have 2 outs from we see 2 players not selected from the July series, with Finlay Christie and Imoni Narawa, the casualties. Unsure why they haven't been selected at this stage. There's been no communication if they've been left out due to injury. In terms of new inclusions into the squad, we look at Sam Dowie. He's had 1 test under his belt. He was a late inclusion to the Fiji test after Tuipulotu was left at home. He had an excellent period on the field, was an absolute workhorse, won a turnover penalty. We look to midfield. David Havili, he comes in here selected as a midfielder. Obviously, we know he's a hybrid back. He's available to play fullback, on the wing, or indeed can cover 5/8. Will Jordan, he makes his return to the black jersey after training through the July series. He's named in the outside backs. He's also joined by newcomer Ruben Love. Love takes the place of Narawa. Many thought that Love was hard done by not to be selected in the July series. He gets his opportunity against the big 3 sides of the Southern Hemisphere. Will Jordan, he returns to the outside backs after training during the July series. And Ruben Love, he's the newcomer, he's the new cap to the side. Many people thought that he was hard done by not to be named in the first place. He's replaced Narawa and provides coverage at fullback and wing. The biggest talking point will be the return of former skipper Sam Cane. Perhaps a polarising figure in New Zealand rugby as of late. Definitely a lot of ill will towards the former skipper after his red card for the Chiefs in their final and then in the Rugby World Cup final. However, he fits the prototype for a Scott Robertson type open side. Look at his time during the Crusaders. He's like to have that hard tackling player in the 7 jersey, and Sam Cane fits that to a T. If we look at the hookers, stability with Olmore, Taylor and Bell. Not sure on the progress or the timeline for Tokeaho. However, these 3 players, they did get minutes during the July series. Expect again the 1-2 punch of Taylor and Olmore from the bench. Continuity again in the propping department. 6 quality props and some really big men that are going to be key when they come up against the big scrummaging sides in terms of Argentina and South Africa on the continent. In terms of the locking department, Tuipulotu, he now becomes the elder statesman. I expect him to take the number 2 position at the line out and shift across to the tight head side of the scrum. Vi and Dari, they'll duel it out for the starting and reserve locking position. And Josh Lord, he's had an injury disrupted season this year. He's come in as injury cover. It gives the All Black coaches a chance to see him train and try to work to get him up to speed before the end of year tour. So Kane's addition into the loose forwards, that means the 6 retained from the July series. Happy to see Wallace Satiti after his good shift against Fiji, get another go with the Rugby Championship and grow in hopefully some game time against either Argentina or Australia late in the piece. Finlay Christie, the big casualty at halfback, is TJ Perenara after his injury. He's returned, he's named, and he's got the young guns in Ratima and Hotham, the 2 former Hamilton boys rugby players. They both stood out in America. Things are looking bright in terms of 9s for the future. The first 5s, Barrett's named at first 5, as he was during the July series, although he didn't play there directly. Again, Damien McKenzie, expect him to be handed the keys to drive this ship around. More continuity in midfield, along with the addition of Havili. I actually think that Havili will be used primarily to run the opposition starter and secondary plays during the training week. Well, the outside backs, they lose an out-and-out winger in Narawa. There is 3 remaining, with Caleb Clark so impressive in the US against Fiji, Sevu Reece and Mark Talea. We do now have 3 players that are capable of wearing the fullback jersey. Probably Perifetta and Love probably have the better kicking games. However, in terms of kick return, you'd have to put that down to Will Jordan. Interesting discussions coming up with the All Blacks coaches on what direction they go through their 10-15 axis. So for me, probably the only real surprise out of this selection was Narawa getting dropped, Finlay Christie getting dropped, and the inclusion of Ruben Love. I'm actually happy for the bloke. He had a ripper Super Rugby season. I thought he was hard done by not to be named, so fantastic for him. So for me, it's a well-balanced All Black side. No real surprises apart from Narawa dropping out and bringing in Love with the third fullback, obviously with Barrett capable of playing fullback as well. What are your thoughts on this squad? I'd be interested to hear from you. Drop a comment. I'll look and endeavour to reply and answer. I'm Coach H, and you've been watching Inspired by Union.